When the spot actually opened up, I asked Dr. Kitty Plax if we could join the partnership. Her population was 13 to 25. That was sort of a larger group of youth and a wider range of youth that we would be able to assist with. And she was very excited for us to join, and we've been there ever since.
Okay, so I went to the SLU Law Clinic with, I'd gotten a speeding ticket, driving without a license, and driving without insurance.
Well, I had some inquiries about basically child support and custody of my child at the time that I was pregnant.
I use all the services at the spot, from medical, birth control, to case management and counseling. Yes, SLU Law School helped me change my last name.
So we do everything. We do municipal court. We have done a tremendous amount of name changes, and the name changes range from a young person who was maybe named after their father, but they've never met their father, and so they'd really like to have a name that they have chosen. It could be that they're a transgender individual, and so they need a name that will reflect their true identity. I've had situations where youth have had problems in schools where they're being discriminated against because of their gender identity.
There are quite a few different kinds of cases. One in particular was Lexi. She was my first client. It was a name change, and even though it was a really simple thing to do on our end, I could tell it really meant a lot for her.
It was helpful for me just for emotional reasons. I have my dad's last name, and we've never really been in contact, and so now I have my mother's last name and her family's name, and it's just nice to know that I know I've always been a part of their family, but to have that last name as now my maiden name, it just gives me a sense of pride.
And it was really awesome to be part of that experience for her.
The legal issues may be different, but what they're bringing to the students is the same. They're bringing the stress, the mental health issues, the anxiety, the lack of information. So a lot of the clients that we have had warrants out for their arrest for, some of them for years. And I can only imagine what it's like to be going out, taking the metro or walking the street, and every time a police officer drives by, having the anxiety of worrying that maybe they're going to be stopped and questioned, and then their name will be run, and then they'll go to jail. A lot of the youth we've talked to, they don't have the funds to pay the court costs or the fines for their offenses. So by helping them to figure out, okay, what's going on, where are your tickets, where do we need to go to take care of them, that relieves a lot of their anxiety. And so this partnership helps those kids that we work with to be able to not have to worry again about the stress of going to all those pay dockets where they have to pay those different fines off every month. We're able to sort of negotiate a lower fine and then pay that off, and then the youth can just move on and go apply for a job or go get new housing because they no longer have those warrants.
They got all those things commuted to littering so that when I do pay the fines back, it doesn't go against my license. There's no points on my license. Yeah, I mean, had that not gotten taken care of, I wouldn't have been free to go do all the stuff I need to do, and I wouldn't have my apartment now. So yeah, that definitely, and that was 2-3 years ago, and it still affects me positively. Especially when you don't have any resource or anything. I didn't know that I was going to go in there and tell them I'm sorry. They don't care. So yeah, having the SLU Law Clinic, that was really awesome.
For anything that you have problems with, because if they can't help you, they'll at least give you enough information that you can find somebody who can. But they sit down and hear everything from silly questions about metro tickets to going all the way to court with you and getting your fees waived.
But now I know that if I'm in a legal bind or need any help with assistance on legal troubles, then I could come to somebody somewhere safe. So it really was helpful.
Cool.
As I said, I love them, and I'm so grateful that Trish comes over here with her students. And I don't know what a lot of us would do without them, because I'm sure it's not the last time I'll meet them.
This partnership, in my opinion, has been the best experience for my students. Most of my students who come to work in the clinic in the fall and work at the spot want to continue on for a full year, and I have the opportunity to allow them to do that. I know that Patrick and Kelsey have talked about working with the kids, talking to them, interviewing them, holding their hand through the process is really what's rewarding and gratifying. The legal stuff we know how to do. It's paperwork, it's making calls, it's entering our appearances on cases. But actually having that relationship is what really is the value of our experience.